candidates in the election, no female, no disabled person. In 2017, there were 32, candidates. That is males, and only 5 in the governorship election in Anambra State. Then we jump up to 2021, where there were 18 male candidates, no female, no disabled person, or person with disability, I beg your pardon. And in 2025, 2 females, no person with disability, and 14 males, including the governor, who has been declared the winner today. Of course, in terms of voter registration and population, Idemili North has been taking the lead over the years. But let's now look at the election itself before we join Obejiri, based on what the reactions had been. Soludo had boasted he was going to win. It's typical of all incumbents.
That's right.
I had described the Nwosu of a guy of ADC as someone who was not looking strong enough, sounding strong, even before the election, and he has sounded same way even after the election. For Ukachukwu, a lot of people, like my friend Engineer Victor Ekbo, would call him a walking central bank, corroborated by another friend, Barrister Ugonanya Igwenyi, who said indeed the guy is super loaded. I mean, it was in the course of our conversation over the weekend. And so a lot of people thought that with his money he would have won, and then belonging to the party at the center. Well, we look at the day of the election again. The governor Soludo came, with chest out. He voted with pomp. He displayed his, ballot, which I believe should be against the electoral law. And even when he was questioned, he said it was too far and too small that people could not see. But he was displaying the ballot. And the manner he even, as I described it this morning, crudely inserted it into the box. Well, that is just by the way. But the process basically, even based on reports, on the spot reports that we got, could it be described as fair, credible? Well, some say it's also a litmus test for, Professor Joash Amopiton. I don't know. It's a whole lot to talk about.
From day one, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo and of course his appointees deployed all manner of tactics to ensure that they have an upper hand as far as the election is concerned. Remember, it was in Anambra that the state government introduced a 50 million naira advert permit, or if you like, permit fee. 50 million naira permit fee. What it means is that for you to have your billboard or even post your posters in Anambra State as a contestant, you would have to pay the state government 50 million naira. For me, that was discriminatory. It was a strategy by the state government against the opposition. The governor, who also participated in that election, pay 50 million naira before he had his billboards all over Anambra. Your guess is as good as mine. So that in itself automatically disqualified or prevented certain persons from campaigning the way they would ought to. Also, there were allegations that only the governor, Chukwuma Soludo, had access to the markets. We all know how influential the markets are in places like Anambra and Aba. But the governor, wanting to prevent his opponents from having access to these markets, banned campaigns in these markets. But guess what? The same man that banned campaigns in these markets went to the market to see some traders. And to think that INEC kept quiet and did not say anything, especially regarding the 50 million naira permit fee for candidates to have their posters and billboards, says quite a lot. As if that was not enough, the man came up boldly to say, if you deliver your polling unit, you would get so millions of naira. It was on the eve of the election that Professor Joash Amopiton reference to what the governor said, that it was quite unfortunate some big men in the state are promoting vote buying, and that was it. He couldn't. He wasn't even bold enough to call the governor by his name. He was just beating around the bush. So these were some of the things that led to the election. Now let's talk about the election proper. It's quite unfortunate that in every election in Nigeria, the same wahala that characterized the last election would also characterize the next one. We don't learn. Yesterday, or I beg your pardon, 2 days ago on Saturday, there were logistic problems. As at 10:11 a.m., only 48% of polling units in Anambra received electoral materials and had electoral officials to conduct election. 48%. So that means we're left with 52% without electoral materials, without election officials. So it says a lot. Every now and then we brag, we're prepared, everything is good. But on the election day, you still notice some lapses. And the question is, why can't we address these lapses? Beavers. Yes, some people are celebrating that to a large extent compared to what happened in 2023, that most of the beavers functioned. But we still had incidences of beavers malfunctioning. Despite the fact that before the election, INEC assured that for every beavers machine, they had about 3 SIM cards. At the end of the day, on the election day, beavers in some areas malfunctioned. So what it means is that some people could not vote, or they had to resort to manual accreditation for people to vote, making room for manipulation of the process. Then the new monster in Nigerian electoral process, vote buying, was taken to another level in Anambra State. From Peter Obi to Governor Chukwuma Soludo himself, to the ADC candidates, the APC candidates, they all acknowledged that that money was actually used to sway the way people voted in that election. Between 3,000 to 30,000 naira. That I wouldn't blame the politicians. I would blame the Nigerian who goes to the poll, collect this money, and allow the money to determine how he or she votes. In the next 4 years, you still hear the same people lamenting, my road is bad, though this one is... Where do you think the money the politicians were doling out on election day was coming from? And how did you think they would recover that money? It's the money that they are supposed to use in working. That is what they've given you that day. The reason the mentality right now amongst most politicians, they will tell you, hey, what's the essence of doing palliative or doing empowerment? When on election day, I'll bring out the money and share and win. That's how bad things have become.
Well, unfortunately, for the likes of, Ukachukwu, right?
That's right.
Okay, he openly said that money meant for paying party agents were, tagged as, money for vote buying. So there is no other way and any other time to pay, the agents, other than when the party the election was going on. That is one. If you have your party agents, why don't you pay them ahead? Because they were going to represent you.
Or even pay them after the election.
As a matter of fact, that is why party agents are bought over, such that when these malpractices are going on, some parties who did not mobilize very well ahead of the party, their agents will look the other way when they collect their own take, as it is a la Nigeria. Again, honestly, we can't finish it, Ben, but I can tell you that it was not yet free, not credible, and I don't think it was a popular election. This is an election where the voter turnout was abysmally poor, even from the registration.
And was celebrating.
And yet, it cannot be coordinated properly by INEC. In all of this, INEC has been quiet. We have always known the position of the security agents in this. The deputy governor, Ibezim, was chastising an army captain openly. It was on video. A lady was a monitor told the world about the discrepancies that pervaded the election. And there was a man who came asking why there was, election in process, voting in process, yet there were no result sheets. Just to use those three as examples. But again, we have our correspondent, Amaka Obejiri, in Oka, who will tell us, precisely what she saw on that day based on the time we have to talk with her. I want to believe Amaka is here. We are online with her. Amaka Obejiri is our Anambra correspondent.
Well, while we try to establish contact with Taboni, we shouldn't also fail to mention the issue of voter apathy. It was also very pronounced, in as much as we were told that this is the first time that over 21% of registered voters turned out to vote. But if you take a look at the number, we have 2.7 million registered voters in Anambra State, and it took less than 500,000 of those voters to elect a governor. What does that tell you? That the people have lost confidence in the system. The people still believe their votes will not count.
All right. Right here we have a correspondent, Amaka Obejiri from Oka. Good morning. Hello, Amaka. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Amaka. Good morning. Okay, we have some issue there, but we still get across to her. Yes, indeed, Ben. All of those were, matters that, will be part of Nigeria's political conversation in the days to come. And my worry is that we still have more off-season elections coming in many, many, many states. Whereas this is the first test for Amopiton. Okay, let's see if Amaka is here with us. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, welcome. I know it was a bit difficult connecting, but here you are. Yes, we are talking the election in Anambra State. You were there. You were our eyes and ears there. Just give us a background. What was it like generally, having, rested, walking across 3-4 days as it were? You must have rested a little bit, of course, after the declaration, unless you joined to report the party after the party.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, I've had a little bit of rest, but it was a tough one. But I must say the election was relatively peaceful. It was very, very peaceful. The places I went to, from one local government to the other, although at some places the accreditation started pretty much late. At about 9 to 9:30 a.m. before the real voting started. But the turnout of voters were so low compared to what we had, because after the research we did, we hoped that voters would come out. But then again, this is Nigeria, and people feel that if they come out, maybe their candidate would not win or something like that. But people came out, they voted, and it was peaceful.
Yes, peaceful, but we have allegations from Ukachukwu in particular of APC that his supporters were locked up. There was even a casualty reported, cars burnt and all that. Were you privy to all that? Because I recalled, that precisely that's what he said with his mouth.
Okay, from my own end, from my own point of view, I did not witness that at all. Although at some polling units, we were told that some security officers went to those places very late. That was what we were told. But as far as I'm concerned, and from what I witnessed, because I was out there, I witnessed the elections and all that, I did not experience what he said, or maybe this happened from where he, from his own polling unit and all that. But I wouldn't want to say he lied or exaggerated his report and all of that. But from where and from what I witnessed, that did not happen from my own point of view.
All right, Amaka, even the governor did tell the world that one of his councillors was killed in the process of that election. But that aside, let's talk about what the atmosphere is like post-election now in Anambra State. Is it one of celebration, or would like to know what are the people talking about right now?
Everywhere is calm because yesterday I was out there. I went to INEC office to witness what was going on, and everywhere is calm. People are back to going about their businesses and all of that. But the party faithful, the APGA faithful, I don't know, they are rejoicing, but this is like the second tenure. It's not like everyone expected. I must say the turnout of the results and all of that, because from what I can deduce from what is happening already, people expected that the incumbent would win. So it's just like, it's normal. People are back to their job, people are just okay, people are fine, nothing is happening. Basic conversation about the host of what what we have to expect in the next 4 years.
All right.
If he would do his promise and all that, if he would keep his promise rather of making Anambra Dubai and all of that. So it's back to normal. Everyone has gone back to their jobs, to their businesses. Students are going to school, and that is just basically the atmosphere here.
All right. On a lighter note, we have not heard from Senator Uche Ekunife. Did you, by any chance, go towards our area during that election?
Yes, I did. Although by the time I got there, I witnessed a tense environment. And when I spoke to few persons, they complained about some coming in, although I did not see them, but I knew the atmosphere, the environment was tense, and I also heard that at some point they stopped voting, and they had to call on the security officers to come in. So when I got there, I asked a few persons, and I even spoke to quite a few number of persons who expressed their dissatisfaction about what happened, but then again, voting continued.
Yes.
After the atmosphere became calm and all of that, people continued voting.
Okay, Amaka, you have said the election was peaceful, which sounded like a summary of the situation. But even the governor himself and the other contestants, they all agreed that there was vote buying. Some others amongst the contestants said there was high degree of intimidation. Vote buying in particular, which is glaring, even monitors, observers, did say that much. Did you witness any, or maybe your eyes were not strong as the eagles?
Okay, first of all, I must say that, yes, the vote buying in this election was evident, right? Although you won't get to see them exchanging monies and all of that, but from the body language and people waiting, because I saw a lot of young persons who came out. I went to them, I asked why they were yet to vote, and someone actually told me that they were waiting to see the situation on the ground to know who is going to vote at the end of the day and all of that. So, with someone saying that to you, you would think he's waiting to tell his vote. So yes, a lot of questions, even when we found out and we had to confront some party agents and all of that, we denied. But with the atmosphere and with what is on the ground, this is Nigeria, and I feel like it breaks my heart that even with people, clamoring for change, with all of the sensitizations that were done, people still went out there to sell their votes, and it's really hard to see. But then again, I can't come out to say this party did this or this party did that. I can't categorically say A or from party B. But then again, yes, the vote buying was evident. In fact, some people with POS machines around. And when we went to ask, yes, what she worked for, in fact, the lady told me that yes, she's here for her business. And someone who came, what if she said, okay, what if someone wants to buy food or someone wants to withdraw money? That she came here to vote and she
Amaka, don't worry. Don't worry. The POS machines were IREV and Beavers. Don't worry.
I know what the POS machine looks like, you know.
They were Arabs and beavers in the hands of the wrong people. Anyway, we need to thank you because in the days ahead, we need to capture a whole lot more reports from you on the post-election, environment and the atmosphere. All right. Thank you so very much, Amaka Obejiri, our Anambra correspondent. God bless you.
I'm blessed.
All right. But, POS machine feed the beavers now. Why are you laughing?
They actually look alike.
Anyway, that was more like the picture. Whether the governor who actually won also cried foul. It could be propaganda. Those of us who are close to the entertainment industry, we've known of entertainers who would just fall down somewhere just like that, so that there will be news. At a point, Michael Jackson bought a monkey and called it no, there was a popular name he called the monkey, made a fantastic jacket for the monkey, and the monkey became even just as popular as Michael Jackson. So I won't rule anything out, particularly in our kind of politics. But again, would Amokweton use this as a basis to do his analysis and prepare himself for the subsequent, off-season elections, and then indeed the 2027 general election? That is my worry, because this is not fair enough yet.
Indeed.
All right, so we take our first break this morning. We'll be back. Stay with us.
In the kitchen game, there are players and then Agba Ballers, MVP, Player of the Year, 10-0, no rival. Become an Agba Baller with a new improved Maggi chicken flavor, made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric to bring out your top game in the kitchen. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
The energy from breakfast doesn't last my child the whole day. By halftime, your champ will be low on energy. That's why break time is the right time to refuel with the nourishing Milo drink.
Keep your champ in the game with a Milo drink in their lunchbox. It's made from the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and contains iron and calcium. Milo drink has a great taste your champs will love and a nourishing energy to help them make the most of every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Is it okay to make fun of our toothpaste? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Learn boss level gameplay on YouTube with MTN YouTube Buffet Bundle. Binge your favorite gameplays till you master every move. Enjoy play along clips with your faves and challenge runs like never before till you become the numero uno of gaming. See more, be more, spend less. Get over 4 hours of YouTube streaming for just 250 Naira or 10 hours for 600 Naira on the MTN YouTube Buffet Bundle. Dial *312*800# to start today and go make a difference.
Hey, see package. This is what I call Full House.
Yes, sir. That's me.
Who's talking about you? I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House pack in your hand.
The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House pack with more refreshment contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy Full House goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Whether you're buying smoky jollof from your favorite spot in Ikeja, shopping online for your latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, or click. So many options, yet so easy. With layers of security protecting every payment, your money stays safe.
From Danfo to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard, safe, convenient, priceless.
You don't just vibe to anything, and that's okay. Do you like it hot?
Hit me.
Then go for Mini Noodles Ninja Pepper flavored, the spicy rebel. Do you like it fresh?
Smooth.
Then get your Mini Noodles chicken and veggies flavor, the fresh gang. Maybe you like to party.
Giggy.
Then you need to have a taste of Mini Noodles Patty Jollof flavor, party starter. Or you could be a foodie.
That's it.
Then you'll love Mini Noodles sloppy chicken flavor, the foodie vibes. Whatever you like, Mini-Me's got a flavor for you, so pick your vibe. Mini-Me Noodles. Slop life.
Naija people, make una loud down. Join the groove, make we vibe, make we ginger, make we take cool body. Wait oh, no be just any coke na. Now coke we carry your name for body. Yes, so share a coke don land. Now you fit find nicknames, names of your party dem wey una don dey tey. Your odogu, that's your soji guy, and your confirm OG. Now your vibe, now your coke. No dull yourself oh. Every coke they carry tori, make you find your own. Come yarn us, oya tell us. Now who you go share coke with?
Nri ọbụla m siri ga-enwe nri ụtọ ọma dịkwa mma iri eri ma jupụta n'ịhụnanya.
Anyị na-anụ gị Maggi Star dị n'okpukpu abụọ ụtọ gbara abụọ ihe dị mfe gbara abụọ mana ọ bụkwa ụtọ ahụ ịtụkwasịrị obi. Maggi Star okpukpu abụọ eji so ya rụrụ arụ mee ya na ihe ndị ọzọ na-edozi ahụ maka nnukwu ekpomekpo na-agwa agwa nke naanị Maggi nwere ike iweta n'efere gị.
Ọ na-atọ ezigbo ụtọ.
Weta Maggi double cube taa mụ na Maggi kwekọrịtara nke ọma.
Iso ndị enyi gị na ndị otu gị enweta onwe unu ọ bụ gị na ezi enyi gị nwaanyị na-elecha nlele ma ị nọ na nzukọ erimeri jollof ma ị na-ezu ike n'ụlọ chọtanụ ndụ ọhụrụ dị na Ekpem Razzle. Were Razzle bulite ụwa gị werekwa Razzle gosi ụwa onye bụ site n'ụtọ ọhụrụ na mmesa ahụ nakwa ụtọ dị iche nke Razzle Cola, orange na lemon. Were Razzle bulite ụwa gị.
Progress isn't one big break. It's in the little wins that happen every day. Like when you finish selling your goods before noon. Or when your customer says, I'll be back tomorrow, and actually comes back with a friend. It's being able to say yes when your child makes a request. Or hitting your honeymoon savings target every month without fail. Progress is knowing you're not doing this alone. That you have a bank that sees your effort, understands your journey, and supports you at every stage. Download the MoneyPoint app today. MoneyPoint, made for your progress.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
Right away from the Anambra elections, let's talk other issues now. The newly reconstituted Board of Trustees, BOT, of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, held its inaugural emergency meeting on Friday in Abuja, culminating in the election of Mao Ohabonwa as the new chairman of the board, with Issa Dansidi elected secretary. The meeting underscored the urgent need for party cohesion, adherence to constitutional order, and respect for the recent Federal High Court's judgment that has significant implications for the party's forthcoming national convention. In a communique issued at the meeting's conclusion, the factional BOT reaffirmed that the PDP remained one indivisible, united and democratic family, firmly committed to the ideals of justice, equity and progress. The communique signed by Ohabonwa and Dansidi recognized the authority of all legally constituted organs of the party and reiterated its confidence in the ongoing efforts to restore internal order, discipline and constitutional adherence in line with the judgment of the Federal High Court delivered on October 31, 2025.
In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has upheld Umar Damagun as the constitutionally recognized national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, thereby dismissing Abdurrahman Mohammed, a loyalist of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, as acting national chairman. INEC, in a normal acknowledgement, that is formal acknowledgement and recognition of the Damagun-led NWC, responded to a correspondence by Damagun and deployed election monitors for the PDP governorship primaries in Ado-Ekiti. The INEC team observed and monitored the PDP Ekiti governorship primary election that took place on Saturday. A faction of the party had postponed the Ekiti state gubernatorial primary earlier scheduled for Saturday. Of course, that was November 8, 2025. The party said the primary election was postponed due to logistics issues. This was contained in a letter signed by the acting national chairman, which has been discredited now, by the way, by INEC. And we are talking about Abdurrahman Mohammed now and the National Secretary, Samuel Anyanwu. The letter which they addressed to the chairman of INEC, Joash Amokweton. Well, anyway, by monitoring the Ekiti PDP governorship election, INEC might have tacitly affirmed the Damagun faction as the authentic leadership of the party. Well, I think what this means here is that INEC is not concerned about anything going on in the court. They have to do their job until the court addresses them or they get a certified copy of whatever judgment from the court. So for now, the Damagun led National Working Committee. But you recall that the Abdurrahman faction held their meeting at Wadata House, whereas the Damagun faction held their own at the Asokoro Lodge of the governor of Bauchi State. I don't know, PDP. Rat where they fire the bomb, see they pour kerosene or petrol on itself. I just don't understand. But I hope at the end of the day, they will be able to hold their breath, look at what is happening, find a common cause without the personal ego of certain individuals within the party, so as to forge a way forward. But the Anambra election itself, PDP used to command some respect in Anambra. That's and right. I think what happened on Saturday, where the PDP was, a distant loser, for me, is a pointer to what is happening at the center.
Obviously, at a point they were even begging people to come and collect their tickets, or collect their forms. The PDP in Anambra was so toxic that people ran away from the party. It was that bad. It took, I think, the 11th hour after extension that somebody reluctantly collected the ticket of the party in that state. We don't even know his name. That's to tell you how bad it is.
That has gone down in history. He is now a former governorship candidate in the 2025 governorship election in Anambra State. And let me tell you, it might just beef up his political credential, because all he needs to do now is decamp to another strong party as a former governorship candidate of the PDP. And he will be so recognized.
Well, it's quite a pity.
What do you think?
That the PDP has allowed its differences to degenerate to this point. And if you take a look at the dramatic personnel involved, they are loyalists to one particular person, the FCT minister. From Samuel Anyanwu to Mao Ohabunwa, these people belong to the camp of Nyesom Wike. So it is obvious that Nyesom Wike is still aggrieved with the PDP, and from his body language, the PDP would know no peace, probably until after the 2027 election. It is in his interest and his principal's interest, President Bola Tinubu, that the PDP remain in chaos, that the PDP continues the infighting, going to court, getting one order, countering the other, recountering and what have you, until after the 2027 election. And Bonnie, for me, it boils down to lack of discipline. If from day one the likes of Nyesom Wike erred or committed anti-party activity, like we saw in the 2023 election, or even before 2023 election, 2022, when the man openly said he would work for the candidates of another political party, if the PDP had put its foot on ground to say, for saying this and for doing this, we are suspending you, I don't think this whole thing would have degenerated to this level.
No, this man is a political craftsman, because knowing that could happen, he quickly ran to court. If you remember,
why can't the PDP?
And that
case did not get to the Supreme Court.
That court case has it even been,
that's the point.
Determined till today.
Exactly. So why didn't the PDP go to court to appeal against the case and let it get to the Supreme Court? But we have a situation in the party where some people are bigger than the party. Once you have money, you wield some amount of influence, you become untouchable. That's exactly what is happening.
Anyway, even outside the party, I think, okay, let's say party, and across the country, some people are getting paid. Some people who have lost in some places are earning monthly salary.
That's right.
Or weekly salary now, courtesy of allegiance to somebody.
True.
I don't want to mention a name because it is allegedly. Some persons are feeding fat without doing any job for simply belonging to the faction led by somebody. Allegedly. Did I call a name? So, and it's across the country. Funny enough, Anyway, let's look at this one again. The Enugu State Ministry of Health has arrested a fake doctor and sealed an illegal hospital in Oboletiti in Udenu local government area for operating without a license and putting patients' lives at risk. This was contained in a statement by the public relations officer of the ministry, Ugodu Alve Maria, on Sunday. According to the statement, the Commissioner for Health, George Ugu, coordinated the operation, which uncovered shocking evidence of the facility's unhygienic and unfit conditions. The statement named the fake doctor as Kenneth Mama and his hospital named as St. Joseph Memorial Hospital, Adulo, Oboletiti community. The self-proclaimed doctor had no medical license, no professional training, and no authorization from the State Ministry of Health. Despite this, he routinely performed surgical operations, endangering the lives of residents who unsuspectingly sought care, Ave Maria said. Ben, that is just one amongst many. I think
going as far as conducting operations, surgeries.
I say, if the ministries of health should seriously go through the local areas of this country, including mine, and as I say mine here, I'm even suspicious that it's quite likely that someone from my place, from my place in Orokam, would have probably gone to this hospital in Oboletiti, because it's a walking distance, quote and unquote. Somebody from Oupa, also in my local government at the other end, would have gone there, because the Obolos, Oboleke, Obolafo, Oboletiti, we share common boundary and affinity. We intertrade, we interhunt, we interfarm, we do a whole lot. So as I read it, I felt in my heart that someone from my place might likely have gone there. But that is just an example of more. Even in Abia here, even in other states, it's even worse in the far north. I'm telling you the truth. So is a reason for the Ministry of Health, even in Abia here now as we're speaking, to please send some teams around, send some intels to be able to discover where such places are. Even in Aba here, Ben, I must tell you, where people who own what we call local chemists, not pharmacists, are training would-be nurses, and they are not hiding it. They train them openly, they graduate them openly with pump, and spread them to hospitals. And in all honesty, when you see them in the hospitals, you know the kind of trainings they've gotten. And we're talking health here. It's not about one Kenneth Mama here, or St. Joseph Memorial Hospital, or Oboletiti, which is a hidden corner of Obolafo, Oboleke, all the way down. By the time you go to Enugu Ezike, and El Almona, down to Eti, Amala, you probably would see more. only in that axis of Enugu State, not the other areas yet, is a serious matter.
Indeed. Like I would always ask, what is wrong with the conscience of some people? In the name of making money, you're practically butchering people, killing people. I'm imagining someone who has never been within the four walls of a medical school performing a surgery. What could the person be doing? You're using people to learn. Well, it's quite unfortunate. Like you pointed out, the government should please step up its surveillance. These people exist in most rural communities in Nigeria. It's not just about Obole Etiti today. If you go to most rural communities, you see people who claim to be doctors. And because of the level of education at that level, you find out that most of the villagers innocently believe in what these people do, thereby endangering their lives.
Ben, don't talk too much. I come from a typical village. I wasn't born there, but I come from there. And I'm so attached to the place, in the past 10-15 years. Let me tell you, all it takes for you to be called a doctor in a village is for you to be selling paracetamol and plaster. And then somebody has a wound from the farm, you come and wash it with iodine and, you plaster it. You are a doctor. All it takes for you to be called an honorable is for you to print, posters of your intention to run either as a councillor or whatever. And for the rest of your life, you are an honorable in the village. I come from a place where, some doctors who just out of pity have one little hospital, but they can only treat very minor cases. And there have been deaths as a result of that. So for our people to get treatment in my place where I come from, and I'm saying it on air clearly, I'm not ashamed, because it is the fault of government of my state. They either go to Nsukka, because Obolafo cannot even solve your problem, or they go to Enugu, or they go to Tukpo or Makodi or Jos or Abuja, courtesy of their children. And I'm pointing that finger at me because it is like that in most places, no matter how proud we think we are. Government needs to look at the local environments. Everybody cannot be in the city. Everybody cannot be in the urban areas. All these tarred roads and big structures and even schools that you hear about, they are in the townships of the states. Go to the rural areas and you weep for this country. And so the ambition of every young person is to leave primary school, maybe because the father is not very rich, go to secondary school, no matter how bad the secondary school is, and then aspire to go to the university, but from there, no, myself, I have to go to the city now and come home with a car. Come home and give my father a zinc house. I'm telling you the truth.
That's the dream. True.
So these politicians, they are not encouraging rural development. Not even in agriculture. Maybe from agriculture, those who choose to dwell in the rural areas can begin to have things that will make them look like, okay, the others from the township. Christmas is around the corner. Ben, you need to see the amount of returnees, queues, hold-ups on the roads, people returning to their villages. Some people sleep on the road because their vehicles will spoil. There will be accidents. And then after December, January, you see them going back. Exodus within the same country, because governors hardly ever look at the rural areas. The chairmen of local governments are not given the opportunity to develop rural areas. And even if they are given, they too want to be millionaires and billionaires. Overnight. Is a serious matter. Courtesy of Kenneth Mama, Obole Etiti, we are saying all of this. Because if Obole Etiti has developed, I want to believe that a Kenneth Mama will not dare it. That's the truth.
Well, before we go interactive, let's quickly tell you that the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs has strongly rejected the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by United States President Donald Trump. The council described the claim of Christian genocide in the country as a dangerous foreign propaganda aimed at destabilizing Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja on Sunday, the National Secretary of the Council, Professor Ishaq Oluyede, said the genocide narrative being peddled by the U.S. government and far-right lobbyists was false, politically motivated, and targeted at inciting religious division in Nigeria. According to him, there was no evidence to support claims that Nigerian Muslims were persecuting Christians. The Muslim Ummah clarified that the insecurity ravaging the country was caused by terrorism, criminality, poverty, and the effects of climate change, which have displaced communities and triggered violent clashes over resources. Oluyede, who is also the JAMB registrar, cited independent investigations, including findings by Amnesty International and Global Conflict Monitors, which concluded that violence in Nigeria did not meet the legal definition of genocide under international law.
Well, what's in the name? Some people bear bush, some grass, some stone, no be name. I think for me, the fact that Nigerians are being killed. Today, we make the mistake of thinking that there are only Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. There are people of other religions. There are people who don't believe in foreign religions, which have been used to destabilize countries around the world, including Nigeria. The fact is that Nigerians are being killed. Whether it is named Christian genocide or not. And then some others say, and I want to believe that too, that okay, the killings which I see, the government also agrees is not about any particular religion, and in this case they are talking about just two religions, by the way. They have agreed, no be so. But who are those doing the killings? What religion do they belong to? That is another question. If you go to the far north, east or west, where people are being killed, it is also alleged that there are Christians in those places who live with Muslims anyway. Yes, when they come, they don't ask questions because both the Christians and Muslims dress alike. They speak, the central language, even though they have their own native languages in the main. And they finish everyone. People are being killed. Christian north, environments are being affected more. The middle belt, where we can say, of course, everybody knows, up till last week, in my own state, Otukpo local government, the place in Ohimini local government, they were attacked. People were killed. So it's not about religion, because we've used religion to divide ourselves a lot. We've used ethnicity to divide ourselves. We've used tribe and region. Are people being killed? That is the thing. And so for me, I think it was just like a jolt for the government to do the needful. We've seen situations where governors have been whining and dining with terrorists who come with their guns, sometimes heavier guns than our, federal security men. They come and they go. They commit crimes and they go. And we know that where they are. We have the Sheikh Gomis of this world who are always talking in their favor. So how can we see a situation where these people are not killing Nigerians? Forget religion. I think that is the bottom line here.
Which was exactly what I said last week. We have gotten to a point where Nigerians die and we move on like it is nothing. Even as we speak, there was another attack in a community in Jos a few days ago. Lives were lost. And guess what? We are all moving on like nothing happened.
Until
I'm sure if you ask the president, he doesn't even know that something like that happened. That's how bad things have become. That's how invaluable life is in Nigeria today. We don't value life anymore. It happens, we wait for the next one to happen. Except it touches you directly. You won't even know that these are human beings who are dying. For me, that should be the priority. Government should ensure that no matter the person's religion, Christian, Muslim, traditionalists, no matter who you worship, the life is precious and should be protected, which is the foremost responsibility of government. And our government has failed woefully. The only people who enjoy security in Nigeria are those who have deep pockets. They have access to police protection. They have access to soldiers protection, not to talk about them moving in bulletproof vehicles. If you don't have money, you are on your own.
And they are dual citizens.
Exactly. They have their visas and their passports. They can easily fly out anytime.
Their children are not here.
Well, for the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, it's quite unfortunate that they are given this religious connotation or coloration. Trump did not say Muslims were killing Christians in Nigeria. He said Islamist terrorists. So it's quite surprising that a body like the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs should be speaking for the Islamist terrorists, except they are telling us something we don't know. The man clearly stated it, Islamist terrorists. So if these guys are terrorists, what is the whole of this defense and debate around it? We're not killing anybody.
Well, the presidency just rolled out a statement that, you know, it almost sounded like there are no more IDP camps, but I have one on the street on which I live called Jojakume Way in Makurdi, Benue State. They are domiciled in the international market built by Gabriel Suswam when he was governor. There is another one as you're heading towards Lafia, not too far from Yeliwata, also in Makurdi, and there are so many IDP camps everywhere. Many communities have been displaced. All right, about 15,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the last 2 months. I mean, we don't need all those propaganda. We need peace in Nigeria.
Simple.
We need peace. Those who are perpetrating these things, they should be told to stop. And if they cannot stop, let's use all the force that we have, because we know where they are. The government knows where they are. Deal with them. If you don't know where they are, they cannot come and meet with governors, take pictures with them. Government officials go to attend weddings in their localities. They come to the same market. They use fuel to power those multiple motorcycles that they use to attack people. They come to the market to buy food. We can take the whole day to talk about it. Nigeria needs peace. Let's remain one country. We need peace. People should not be dying like flies. Simple. All right, we'll take a break now. After that, we go interactive. Stay with us.
In the cooking game, you need a winning game plan. I'm not just talking about your fresh ingredients, utensils, or cooking skills. I'm talking about your choice of seasoning. My game plan is incomplete without Maggi chicken flavor. Made with a flavorful formation of onions, celery, turmeric, it's my game changer. Elevate the taste of your everyday dishes with delicious rich chicken flavor. Oh yeah, let's go.
New Maggi chicken flavor, my game changer.
Up your tech game on YouTube with the MTN YouTube Buffet Bundle. Watch videos to sharpen your AI knowledge, in-depth gadget reviews so you don't lose touch, code-along sessions, and many more ways to boost your skills and keep you riding with the latest tech waves. See more, be more, spend less. Get over 4 hours of YouTube streaming for just 250 Naira or 10 hours for 600 Naira on the MTN YouTube Buffet Bundle. Dial *312*800# to start today and go make a difference.
Whether you're buying smoky jollof from your favorite spot in Ikeja, shopping online for your latest styles, or booking your next getaway to Dubai, MasterCard gives you the freedom to pay your way. Insert, tap, swipe, or click. So many options, yet so easy. With layers of security protecting every payment, your money stays safe.
From Danfo to travel, MasterCard connects you to the life you've earned and the one you dream of. Ask your bank for a MasterCard today. MasterCard, safe, convenient, priceless.
La 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 la. Mama watari ije. Ana m emeri ụtụtụ etinyere milik ụmụaka na-etolite Peak 456 nke ụmụaka ya bụ Peak 456 n'olu bekee. Nri ụtụtụ etinyere Peak 456 milik ụmụaka na-etolite kwa. No o nwere mgbakwunye dị ya eche iji kwado maka mmepe ụbụrụ. Peak 456 jupụtara na calcium, vitamin D, protein dị ezigbo mma iji mee ka ụmụ gị na-etolite na-agbasi ike.
Ọ masịrị m. Aga m ebido na-edozi ahụ ụmụ m site n'inye ha Peak 456. Milk ụmụaka na-etolite etolite maka ntolite ụmụaka agbanwenyere DHA iji kwado mmepe ụbụrụ ha.
Na-etolite na-agbasi ike na ide gara gara site n'iji milk ụmụaka na-etolite etolite. Peak 456 na-etolite ụbọchị niile.
Why is this line not moving? Sorry, ma. The network is a bit slow.
Don't lose customers to long queues. With the First Money Merchant POS, every checkout is fast, reliable, and instantly settled.
Finally, quick and easy.
Get your First Money Merchant POS now on www.firstbanknigeria.com/get your POS or at any First Bank branch close to you. First Bank, you first.
Oh, the only detergent that keeps me bright and fresh. I know they waste time to wash. I thought my clothes have the best, so why go less? You can't wash a lot with a little Viva. Use Viva. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Use Viva. Viva, oh Viva. I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever. Viva, oh Viva. I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever. Viva, I love my Viva. Don't need no other. I love my Viva forever.
Viva detergent, a quality cleaning powder from Aspira.
Nri ọbụla m siri ga-enwe nri ụtọ ọma dịkwa mma iri eri ma jupụta n'ịhụnanya.
Anyị na-anụ gị Maggi Star dị n'okpukpu abụọ, ụtọ gbara abụọ, ihe dị mfe gbara abụọ, mana ọ bụkwa ụtọ ahụ ịtụkwasịrị obi. Maggi Star okpukpu abụọ eji so ya rụrụ arụ mee ya na ihe ndị ọzọ na-edozi ahụ maka nnukwu ekpomekpo na-agwa agwa ka naanị Maggi nwere ike iweta n'efere gị.
Ọ na-atọ ezigbo ụtọ.
Weta Maggi double cube taa, mụ na Maggi kwekọrịtara nke ọma.
Start your children's day with a great taste of Ovaltine, enriched with multi-nourishment, calcium, malt, and vitamin B12 to support learning and playtime. Ovaltine, smart choice for smart kids.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
All right, you're welcome to the interactive part of the program. You can reach us on 0907 677 1029, 0916 988 1029. Or better still, make use of our social media handles, facebook.com/MagicFMNG, or streaming live on youtube.com. Check us out, Magic FM Abba. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Brian, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and location.
Very good morning. My name is
Yeah, go ahead.
Food buyer have come to stay in Nigeria. There is nothing that is being that is being introduced in this nation that does not have permanent seat. So I believe that the permanent seat of food buyer have come to stay. Nobody can remove it again. Whether ESCC or whatever.
Hello?
Please help me. I want to know what are the foreign gods. You mention of foreign gods. Can I know one of them? Please, thank you.
Gentlemen, I've forgotten your name. I didn't talk about foreign god. There is a god and there is God. I didn't talk about foreign god. I talked about foreign religions. Foreign religions. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Hello? Can you turn off your radio?
Hello?
Hello? Thank you for joining us. Can you turn off your radio? Hello, good morning.
morning, Bonnie. Ben, I am Chibu Ejechon. I'm calling from my ancestral home in Obakaloma, precisely.
You're welcome.
You see, I succinctly followed that Anambra election through internet and through established TV stations. Vote buying was actually visible. I saw some people collecting malt, 2 gala, and 2,000 naira. And the person that was dishing out this thing was also saying, Tiebe Ferokoko. It was visible. Now, I told you one thing. I have problem with technocrats. You are a technocrat. Technocrats are in sense of being a CBN governor. Why will you stop other people from campaigning? Why will you place 50 million naira against other contestants? Why would you bring a level playing ground? Why will you stop other contestants from going to the market and you went to the market to campaign? If you have done your bit, why not allow a level playing ground so that people will actually put their hat in the ring and the best candidate will emerge? That's the problem with technocrats. It is not in Niger State. Somebody will want to come and campaign or somebody will come and aspire. You say that there is no need for opposition. In a democracy, that the governor is doing well, allow the person to come and test his power with the electorate. The citizens will choose their governor. What happened in Anambra was not a governorship election. It was a charade. It was a charade. I don't like it. That's my thing.
Thank you, but I don't think we have to blame anyone. We blame a country that does not have laws. And even if they have laws, the laws are blind to some people and have 10 eyes for others. Otherwise, if there are laws, why would the governor say, don't do this, and he does it? 10 million naira, am I correct?
50 million naira.
Well, it's not the first time it's happening. Obiano did it also in the same Anambra State in his time.
Also did the same thing.
Many governors would do it, but the law would not do anything. If the law could act independent of who it is, who is concerned, I think we won't have this kind of problem. So the country should be blamed. Let's not even blame whoever calls himself the governor.
Hello, good morning. Hello?
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello, Timere.
Abahole.
Okay, good morning once again. Please congratulations on your from.
You're welcome.
Please, I just want to ask what the last person said, because you always come from NYN. You see, the problem we have here, I don't know if it will stop. Because what happened at Anambra on Saturday was not election. As far as I'm concerned, I stand to be corrected. The same thing is also happening in virtually all the states. An ordinary person who is struggling to flow in business, how can that person bring out 50 million for signage? Not to talk of going from local government to do some structures, you pay 1 or 2 naira. Then at the end of the day, even PDP did that thing here in Niger State before Labour Party came into power. They did the same thing to opposition. This is, I don't think we are practicing democracy, because this deal I'm having to come out in the next future for the governor of Niger State is giving me one stop situation. How can I come this kind of money?
I didn't get him well. I want to believe you're listening, gentlemen. Did you say somebody is asking for millions for signage in Abia?
He said the PDP, that's under the PDP administration, it happened.
That they were asked to pay as much as 50 million.
Well, maybe not as much as 50 million.
Because we do not also entertain propaganda.
That's right.
Whether for past purposes or present purposes or future. Say it as it is. And if you're making reference, let it be something that we can, align with what is happening right now. Thank you.
Okay, from the Facebook page, Urum Oki says, it is interesting how a statement by America's president has got Nigerian government agog. Ahukana Maxwell Wokoma, congratulations to the Anambra State Governor-elect Charles Soludo. This has shown that power belongs to the people. Upon all the federal might, the people have spoken, and so shall it be in Abia State come 2027. You're writing from Obeye Asa. Chibuzo Ekbemu. It is very funny that YPP defeated Labour Party and ADC despite Obi and Atiku's influence. How long will it take ADC to rise and shine? Congratulations to Soludo and Ndianambra. Nnamdi Ezimora, congratulations to Anambra State Governor for his re-election for a second term. Obuagu Emmanuel is also saying congratulations to the governor and Abga the good people of Anambra as well for coming out en masse and making their votes count. Edward Obunnaya from Igwebike Street, Aba. INEC rejecting requests by controversial PDP chairman affirming support for Omar Damagom's leadership. All these political controversies is as a result of Nigerian government's failure in tackling what I describe as political agberolism. Remain in a party, remain in it till your retirement or death. You see, all this nonsense would stop. Prince Law Shekina. Governor Chukwuma Soludo did not have a strong contender, so it is not surprising he won landslide, and for the Labour Party candidate who lost his polling unit, a shame, the shame me. Thank God Chinenye Enemana is urging INEC to improve on future elections. Ifeanyi Nwachukwu saying congratulations to Soludo, but promising financial rewards to the people is an indirect vote buying. If he performed well in office, then people would automatically vote for him. Ozo Madugba, I disagree with the Islamic Council on their denial of genocide happening in the country. They are only being economical with the truth. Henry Ohaji from Oboya Road is saying congratulations to Charles Soludo. Although it was full of vote buying, anyone against America invading terrorists is a terrorist. Anyone calling evil good, evil will not depart from his household. Okay. Izinwa Orwell Ebere, Anambra State gubernatorial election, November 2025, did not reflect any commendable improvement. As for Professor Joash Amupi, your first impression is discouraging. Hyacinth Obona, Professor Oyelede. Okay, I guess you're talking about Professor. What's his name again?
Mupita?
No, the JAMB registrar.
Okay.
Okay, Oluyede, that's the correct pronunciation. You're saying, and his Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs are a huge joke and disappointment to the civilized world. How can poor economy and climate change compel people to kill others and destroy their livelihoods and thereafter occupy their land? Gabriel Olata, the main objective for US President Trump's interference in Nigeria's internal security issues is to end terrorism. That is it. I don't think anyone should have a problem with that, except perhaps they are the ones shielding the terrorists. Austin Ujo, the arrest of the fake doctor in Enugu confirms the neglect of rural areas in our country. The government do not take responsibility for the health of our citizens. Secondly, on genocide of Christians, the government has failed woefully to protect her citizens from terrorist attack. The question is, which religion is responsible for the killings happening here and which people are being killed? Kingsley Uchechukwu Brown, Amukwe has failed in his debut responsibility as the INEC chairman. Again, if a governor who had claimed to have done well or so much for his state to have engaged in vote buying showed how shallow the performance is. I have not seen anything different from what happened in 2023. Uzoma Ogomezie thinks the arrested fake doctor should be made to face the law. Onohai Ikechukwu denying the rate at which Christian churches are being attacked by the terrorists is like living in this world and denying being a sinner. Politics and politicians of this country are the reasons of all the trials and troubles facing us as a people. Until the truth is revealed, better changes will not emerge. Mankwe Ndubisi Chesa, please, that Islamic cleric asking for evidence of Islamic extremism against Christians should be reminded of Deborah, who was stoned to death on account of blasphemy. What about the RCCG evangelist that was killed in Abuja? Is it claiming ignorance of the massacre in Christian communities of Benue and Plateau states? asking for evidence of Islamist onslaught against Christians in Nigeria is, to say the least, living in self-denial. Chijoke Imebu. These fake doctors and chemists, even those that produce and sell fake drugs and beverages, are worse than ritual killers and bandits. Our government should take this serious. The high rate of kidney disease in the country is alarming. Okay, on the live feed, okay, good says, please, what happens to those viral videos of vote buying? Hope it will be accepted as evidence in the court of law. Kayla McBride, congratulations to Mr. Chukuma Soludo for another term. You're watching from Atlanta, USA. Thank you for joining us. Chukuma Johnson, those terrorists, have you seen them shouting praise the Lord after killing? This is Christian genocide. Neche Uche, I don't really understand why all these Islamic organizations and their cohorts became unsettled since Donald Trump's declaration against terrorism in Nigeria. Is there something that they are not telling us? Emmanuel Chuks, if you expect the North or the Muslims to admit to their wrongdoings and culpability when they are involved, you're wasting your time. Francis Ogudoro from Accra, Ghana, thank you for joining us this morning. King's Shoes Accessories, Nigeria politics. Did you see how they were sharing money in the polling booths? Chibuzo, DMS Ekbemo, it is very funny. Okay, we've taken this. Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara from Owerri. I wonder why some people would see black and call it white. How can any sane person say there is no genocide in this country? There must be accomplices. When it gets to them and their relations, they would understand we must all reap what we are sowing. Ifeanyi Nwachukwu, Enugu government, sealing illegal hospital is commendable. The measure should be extended to other illegal hospitals in the country. People's lives should not be taken for granted. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines and take more calls.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
You're welcome.
Engineer Vico calling you from Port Harcourt.
All right, you're welcome again.
Thank you. The Islamic organizations or council, whatever they call them, trying to deny the fact that there is nothing like Christian genocide. Well, I don't blame them. I blame the insensitivity of our government that we have at hand, who actually never cared or be concerned about their citizenry, whether they are dead or alive. It does not matter to them. And that gives the impetus this Islamic organization coming out boldly to deny the fact that there is no genocide killing. Remember, D.Y. Danjuma once said, these killings, they colluded with the army. And we ask, those in the army, is it the Muslims or the Christians they collude with? We use our tongue to count our teeth. Army today is working freely, negotiating, going to the bandit tent, coming out, telling federal government, these are families, these are parents of children, this and this. And federal government is looking at Gumi. Gumi is going freely. And I ask, could it be that Gumi possibly have an armed group that is equally carrying out these armed activities and Nigerian government are keeping quiet? It could be. Look at what is happening in Mali today. The same ISWAP, Al-Qaeda is holding Malians hostage to the extent of blocking their roads that are not allowing food and amenities to come into the state. And I ask, is there an agenda for West Africans to be Islamized? We should use our tongue to count our feet. The solution right now in Nigeria, since they are denying it, that nothing like Christian genocide, is not peacefully divide this country so that Christians can go there. We let them practice the Sharia and Islamize themselves the way they want it, instead of killing us, instead of killing Christians. It's not the best solution. This one Nigeria will not solve this problem. This one Nigeria is even killing Nigerians more than the way it should be. The peaceful way is go a separate way. Let them be.
Well, sorry, gentlemen. We thank you. We thank you. If not that you were repeating yourself, would have allowed you to go, yet we'll still cap it by saying that we don't allow anybody to advocate, the division of Nigeria. Our constitution says Nigeria remains one indivisible entity, and we can do that peacefully if all of us agree, not by advocating individually. So let it not be said that we allowed an individual in Nigeria to be propagating the division of the country. Yes, if the nation agrees as a nation to say, okay, let's allow ourselves to go the separate way, and it is allowed peacefully, no doubt, but not by the way we're going, particularly by your advocacy. I think we need to say that quickly. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Bonnie and Ben.
You're welcome.
Zawaka is my name.
Go ahead. The Anambra man.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, we were trying to call you, but you called us first. Were you in Anambra last Saturday or before?
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that... Yes.
No, wait. We want to ask you, Ugo. Don't jump us. We want to interview you. We were trying to call you, and then you called us, okay?
All right.
Yeah, so we know that you always call a spade a spade. What did you see in Anambra? We want to take you to the election again.
Mr. Bonnet.
Yes.
You are putting me on the spot.
No, you are a proud Anambrarian.
Yes, I'm a proud Anambrarian.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is that if Nigeria really wants our electoral system to work,
yes, then
there must be total reform of an election.
Okay.
Because you can't tell me that you have an election, some polling units will have no result sheet, and people will come out under the sun to vote without knowing that their votes are not going to count. And it will be allowed to go on, and the results from such polling units will be announced. I'm not going to come out here and start saying I saw this and that, but the truth of the matter is that most of our elections are just a sham. So they need to reform this system. If it's going to be pure electronic, then everybody will know. Because you can't, how do you even explain it to an elderly person that he's going to complain and he's going to go home thinking that, oh, I've exercised my right, when people are somewhere with the result sheet and it is allowed to go on and on? It's not just about Anambra State. This is typically when you hear people say, oh, we scored 21/21, oh, we scored 17/17. Typically, this is what goes on.
All right, Ugo, thank you very much. I think we need to cut you here for want of time. But there was something you said that you didn't see anything, but you have said something. Typical of the blind. The blind does not see, but they can say, and sometimes they say it more empirically. I think you have, crowned it for us this morning. We need to still, tinker with our electoral process so that it can be believable. Thank you very much. And to all of you who participated with us today, thank you. My name is Bon.